friends, it's Shan here. Welcome back to Golf with Shan. As some of you already know, a few months ago I got fitted for a full set of PXG golf clubs. These are the first set of golf clubs in my life that are custom fitted to me, and I am absolutely loving them. I did make 2 videos on the fitting and the unboxing that I will link in the description down below. So if you haven't watched those yet, go ahead and check them out. In today's video, I am headed out to a Trackman because Trackman simulators are known across the golf industry as probably the most accurate in terms of getting your statistics. So today, for you guys and also for my own curiosity, I am going to test out each of my new golf clubs and give you guys a sense of how far I hit all of my clubs, what my ball speed is, what my club head speed is. This will also be a good chance for me to kind of bookmark this time in my life and what my statistics are and some things that I can do to improve in the coming year. Let's head out to the Trackman. We just got to Next Golf in Mississauga. This is one of the closest locations to us that has a Trackman simulator, and it was a pretty good price. So for an hour and a half, we paid $60 Canadian. So a few things to note. I'm going to hit 3 good shots with these following clubs. I'm not going to hit every single one because I do want to save some time to play an actual golf course. The other thing to note is I am going to be using the balls that they have here, which are, it looks like used top flights. So the numbers won't be as good as, you know, on the golf course, but it's gonna have to do. Alright, let's get down to business. For the following clubs, I am going to be running a little personal experiment where I am going to pull up the LPGA Tour average stats and compare those numbers to mine. At the same time, I am going to put up the PGA Tour stats over here just so that you guys can get a good visual comparison. Although for me personally and for the average golfer out there, I would say the LPGA Tour average stats are a better benchmark. I am 5'2", 158 centimeters, about 53 kilos on a good day, so the LPGA Tour is definitely a closer benchmark for me to attain. I did used to compete as a junior. I don't currently play professionally, but I would say that my stats are closer to the general public average golfer. So I hope this little experiment that I'm doing for myself will be helpful to you as well. I currently play the PXG Gen 4 lineup of golf clubs for my entire set. I have the 0311 irons, the 0341X woods, and the 0811 driver. I have a senior shaft on pretty much all of my clubs, and all the lofts we've left at standard, so they haven't been adjusted to hit further or anything. Everything was left standard. For the exact specs of all of my clubs, go ahead and check out my unboxing video that will be linked down below. Without further ado, let's get started with the 7-iron. Quick disclaimer, here are the average Trackman statistics. There are over 1,800 players in the LPGA. Many of the top female golfers average 15% more in yardage, with 7-iron carry distance about 160 yards. There are many more aspects to golf separate from the statistics shown here. This is simply a fun, introspective video putting my new golf clubs to the test. Enjoy! I realized I forgot to put the smash factor number on the display, so we're just going to calculate it manually. The smash factor is equal to ball speed divided by club head speed. Alright, so I just spent an hour creating the overlays that you saw in this video. At the same time, I was analyzing my numbers and comparing them to the Trackman averages for the LPGA Tour. By the way, if you guys know what you're talking about, if you have a lot of experience with Trackman numbers, feel free to analyze mine, comment them down below, what areas I can improve on, what areas are good. Obviously, I can see, the statistics comparing literally one-to-one between my numbers and the LPGA. I have noticed a few things, but I also want this to be an opportunity to be transparent, an opportunity for me to kind of benchmark where I am today in October of 2022. Hopefully next year, 5 years from now, my numbers will be looking a little bit better. A couple things I do want to note in general. Of course, indoor Trackmans are the most accurate, I think, in terms of getting your golf stats, but they are a controlled environment where you don't have factors like wind, your elevation, how far you are from sea level, what kind of grass you're playing on. All of these are things in the real world on real golf courses outside that will impact how your shot turns out, what your distances are, what your stats are. So that's just one thing to take note of. The second thing to note is that the golf balls at these public simulators have been hit over and over again, probably for hundreds of times, and they're usually not good name brand golf balls either. So for example, for us, it was a Top Flight and I think a few Kirklands, which are actually pretty good balls new, but they've been hit so many times by so many different people that they probably are not performing at, maximum. So that's just something to take note of. I think for shorter irons, it doesn't make too much of a difference, but for the longer clubs, I think that is a factor as to why I wasn't hitting as well as I would on the golf course. All right, now I'm gonna share with you guys my takeaways from what I've analyzed by myself. First, let's talk about irons. So PXG is known for their irons and for good reason. So I play the Gen 4 0311P irons, and they are honestly one of the best irons I've ever played in my life. The big change when I got them customized was that we changed the lie angle to 2 degrees flat, which means the club head is now sitting flush on the ground, whereas before it was sitting a little bit up, so I wasn't hitting the center of the club face as much. And looking at the Trackman numbers, I would say my numbers are pretty close to the LPGA average, and I'm actually very happy with that. So to be honest, irons are not going to be something that I'm going to focus on changing anything with. I think they've been working great for me, and I'm just going to keep practicing them, and hopefully I'll just get more and more consistent. Next up is hybrid. This one was difficult for me to do a one-to-one comparison because the Trackman average numbers for the LPGA didn't have a hybrid. So instead they had a 7-wood, and I do know quite a few LPGA players prefer a 7-wood to a hybrid, but also a lot of them have a hybrid. So I'm not really sure why they don't have that average number. For men, they do. However, I think the smash factor should be a little bit higher. So somewhere between the efficiency of the golf club, between the club head speed and the ball speed. It's not getting as efficient, although yardage wise I am carrying about as far as the 7-wood average for the LPGA Tour, which I feel great about. So let's move on to the 5-wood. Let's talk about woods, because this is where things get interesting. As you saw earlier, I feel pretty confident with my new irons. I love that my numbers are almost one-to-one with the LPGA Tour, which is amazing. However, as you get to the longer clubs, my numbers, the difference between my numbers and the LPGA numbers start to get wider. And so mainly my ball speed and club head speed isn't keeping up. Theoretically speaking, if my irons up to my 5-iron are keeping up with, the tour numbers, then it should be going up incrementally at the same rate, right? But it's not. So it kind of starts at my hybrid. It didn't really impact my carry distance, but my ball speed and club head speed were lower. And then it goes into my woods and my driver. Now, of course, I wasn't hitting well at the simulator because they only had that super long tee and I just couldn't have it. And my 3-wood, I was actually hitting pretty good, but even then, if you look at the club head speed and ball speed numbers, my numbers are lower. You guys let me know what are the common mistakes and why this tends to happen. Before I end this video, I do want to say I had a lot of fun analyzing my numbers and looking at them, comparing them to the LPGA Tour. For a lot of people out there, I would highly recommend going to a Trackman or a simulator near you where you can hit a few balls, look at your numbers, analyze them. Don't just look at the total distance. Definitely look at all the other numbers and compare them. For the average golfer, the LPGA Tour is a great benchmark to compare yourself to. Of course, there are so many factors to the game of golf, but I think one thing is that we're all just trying to get better, and I'm obviously not, at the maximum of my golf game. I don't know if I ever will get there, but I'm very happy with where I'm at right now, and I'm just trying to improve day by day. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit that thumbs up button for me. It really helps out the channel. If you haven't joined us already, hit that subscribe button. I make new golf and soon travel content every Wednesday and Saturday. I will see you in my next video. Bye!